Hey guys, Zephyrnix here, and today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Marvel vs. Capcom 3, the trailer. Let's see what we can get from this. Perhaps we can learn a little bit of something. So first of all, this is the first screen to show up. It shows Capcom, and then it shows us a bunch of characters here. Now apparently the roster has pretty much been filled out already, because I can see some characters here already. Let's go ahead and see if we can put some people in perspective here. Now, first person we have here, we see looks like a male character. Looks like it might be a little collar popping up in here. This could be one of the characters from, I forget what it's called, the Capcom zombie game, Dead Rising, or it could be the vampire from Vampire Savior, or also known as Dark Chronicles, I think it's called. Here we have Chun-Li. Easy to spot out with the hair. Now, over here, we have, skipping the third one, over here we have a character that first looks kind of weird, but then we realize it's most likely Ryu. We can tell because we can look here and notice that we have here the headband, which is, Ryu is known for having that super long headband in some games. However, it's really hard to see because that's all we can see. Now this one, at first, this is the clue right here. At first I thought this was part of the headband, but then I realized it's not. It's actually something else. Now also look at the position of characters in her, the legs. You see how the legs here is bent and it's almost to the knee? I've seen that position before on a character. But then I looked up here and realized, yes, this most likely is the head of the character, so I realized what this is. This is Felicia, also from the Vampire Savior, or the Dead, Dark something, I forget, it's a fighting game. At any rate, this is Felicia. Now this one right here I'm not 100% sure of. It can be either, I'm leaning towards, I know it's a female character, so I'm leaning towards either Jill Valentine or maybe Shiva. I'm leaning towards that because I can tell it's female, and when it comes to Capcom side, who really knows? So it was really hard for me, but that's where I think it is. These two right here, I can't really figure out. I can only guess. But this is Chun-Li, Ryu, and Felicia. Now, going over here, this is the Marvel side. Now, the Marvel side's a lot easier for me to do. We have here Captain America. We can tell by the little head thing here, and then a belt, and of course, if you look at the boots, only boots that Captain America can do. Now we have over here, we have a character here who looks like he might be in a hood of some sort. And if you look down here, there's a cape. So I'm thinking this is two people, either Moon Knight or Doctor Doom. And considering the fact that this has to be a list of iconic characters, I'm going to go on a limb and say Doctor Doom. Now we have over here a character. At first it's kind of hard to see, but then we notice, we look at his head and realize that most likely he's in a full head mask. So with that being said, let's look at some other features. We notice two katanas sticking right out of his, looks like at his back. So this most likely is Deadpool. Now we look over here, we notice that without a doubt this is Wolverine. And then over here, this one's pretty hard to figure out, but if I had to randomly guess and try to do an educated guess, I would say the best person I can think of will be what's his name? What's his name? Doctor Strange. That's what it is. So, without no, let's keep going here. Let's see what we can see within this trailer. Okay, as you see here, it says images representing the game is currently in development. That's true. If you look at the world looks somewhat similar to a comic book. So, it's not exactly 100%, graphically enhanced, but it's similar. So, let's look in here. So, as you see here, this is definitely Wolverine. If you couldn't figure that out, that's definitely Wolverine in the mix over there, as usual. I figured when the trailer was released, that was going to be the first person you would see. So, as you see here, if you look here, this indicates that he's wearing his X-Men, Astonishing X-Men outfit, which is basically the latest version of Wolverine out there. The mask is a little too big, but that's okay. Now, of course, you got Ryu here. Now, you also notice that the arm things is ripped. I believe they were ripped. They weren't ripped in part 2, but they were ripped in part 3 and 4. And as you guys know, in terms of timeline, it's Alpha, Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, then Street Fighter 3, which means that this particularly, if it had to have a timeline, which it doesn't have to have a timeline, of course, it's a versus game, but if it had to have a timeline, it would take place between Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 4. Now, of course, that headband also confirms that. He got this headband after Street Fighter Alpha. So, that's definitely something else that's concluding it. Now, of course, you see here, you see the fantastic Iron Man, and then you see Morrigan over here. So that's Iron Man and Morrigan, and ooh, go ahead, Tony Stark, grab that ass, Look at him, look at him go, look at him go. Don't lift up the mask. That make a motherfucker smirking like hell right now. He gonna stick his finger in. Look at his thumb. Oh, he going for home base. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, boy. Anyway. So that's Morgan and Iron Man. Now you see Hulk here, which really surprised me because I was kind of shocked that Hulk made an appearance because he's dead. You know, maybe I would kind of throw in they put Son of the Hulk or something like that, but and then you see here, which a surprise to everyone, was Chris Redfield from the Resident Evil 5 version. So last but not least, you see this. Which indicates that most likely this is going to be running the engine of Capcom versus Takenoko, which actually would answer the reason why the game was only on the Wii and not on other systems. But then again, it could get released on other systems. But at any rate, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be running the same exact engine as Capcom vs. Takenoko. Now, a lot of people wanted to ask me what kind of characters I think are going to be in the game, or did I want to see in the game. Well, I would like to see, first and foremost, some of my favorite characters I'd like to see in the game. Emma Frost, also known as the White Queen, has always been my favorite character. She has the mental abilities. She is I think the third most powerful psychic in the universe. She's not as strong as Professor X, and damn sure not as strong as Jean Grey, because Jean Grey actually outdoes both Professor X and White Queen, but she's the third strongest. Aside from that, she also has the ability to transform her body into into a diamond form. However, it stops her from using her powers, her mental power. So you guys can obviously see automatically that there's two types of ways to play this character. You can play it in a diamond form, which will actually indicate taking less damage and doing more, more offensive damage. And then you can switch it up to, your other form, which indicates of doing more mental damage, maybe range, So you can switch from range to melee damage, like back and forth. So actually, I think that would be a fantastic character. Another character I would love to see would be actually Nightcrawler. You can imagine Nightcrawler versus Spider-Man. I mean, I've never seen that in the Marvel Universe or not, but you can imagine the sheer speed of that. Spider-Man, who's definitely fast, and then you got Nightcrawler, who's also fast, who between his speed and his teleportation powers, you want to get rid of. Not to mention, Nightcrawler is actually trained for fighting, where Spider-Man really isn't, or hasn't been, or is he? If he is now, I wasn't 100%. I didn't know about it, but anyway, so. I mean, that would be a good fight, definitely a nice speed fight. With Deadpool in the game, as it seems that he might be, and that's also going to be a good fight for both of them too, because Deadpool is pretty fast. I think he can teleport too. I'm not 100%. It's been a while since I've seen Deadpool. I'm not sure if he can teleport or not. I think he can, or at least he's super fast. But at any rate, Deadpool is definitely a character who has a lot of personality, who would definitely be a favorite in it. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to this game. I definitely know without a doubt that Samuel the Geek will be playing this. I do know that Fury Doughboy will be playing this. So, I'm definitely going to get with them to figure out what system I want to get this on. Let's see. Any other characters I can think of off the... Oh, Rogue. I would like to see Rogue in it. However, it's going to be really hard to figure out which Rogue will be in it, because you guys got to remember, too, that Rogue, the one that you guys know from Marvel vs. Capcom 2, is no longer in Marvel vs. Is no longer that same Rogue. So you would have to actually figure out which Rogue is going to be available. Now, a lot of cartoons have been taking the Rogue that only has the powers to absorb people's thoughts and skills and powers and whatnot. So a lot of people have been taking that particular Rogue. So... in the comic books, the Rogue nowadays basically has someone else's powers. She no longer has the powers that she originally had. Let's see if I can make her grab her butt again. Ha ha ha. Sorry, buddy. What do you guys know? I'm black. What do you say? I'm all about ass. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I mean, personally, I think it's going to run on that particular engine I mentioned before. I think it's going to be a fantastic game. I'm definitely going to be one of those games that I get on first run. And just I have to decide on which console I want to get it on. So let me know, what characters would you like to see in this new Marvel vs. Capcom 3 game? Now, of course, I can only give you Marvels. I can't give you Capcoms, because I don't know too many Capcoms. But let me know. What do you guys think?